Good greetings, everyone. This is Rusty Dog, and it's not even 9 o'clock in the morning yet. I'm very tired. I did a 5.5 hour live stream yesterday, which was brilliant. I think it's one of the best streams I've done for a little while in terms of having new content, discovering new stuff. And in the stream, I mainly covered the use of the FSS and the DSS. So for those who are not quite familiar with this yet, I'm going to show you how to use it to the best of my ability. So this is what we're looking at, the full spectrum system scanner. So it is correct to say FSS scanner, because the last S doesn't stand for scanner. So yeah, the full spectrum system scanner, the FSS scanner is what we're going to be using today, and also the new detailed surface scan. So when I first started using this in day one, when the beta dropped, of course there's a learning curve. You have to learn how to use it, and if you don't know, if you can't figure it out straight away, it can seem a little bit tricky, a little bit awkward, and maybe for some even a little bit frustrating. But I think I'm confident enough to say that once you figure it out, you'll realize just how cool it actually is. And not only is it a really great tool now, but I think it's quicker, which seems counterintuitive, because if you've used the FSS, you'll know that it's more long-winded, it's more intricate to use it. But the things you can find just using the FSS when you jump into a system is so much more than what you would do on the old. I'm not saying you're going to find more stuff, which on some occasions you will. Certainly on planet surfaces you'll find stuff that maybe you wouldn't have come across otherwise. But let's look at USSs, for example, where you can do an FSS scan and it'll tell you where all the USSs are. Once you've manually found them yourself, you'll know, oh, there's a high grade, there's an encoded, there's a decoded over here, there's another decoded over there, there's a weapons fire over there, and they're all laid out, they're all resolved and in front of you straight away. And for something like a high grade emission, if you find a couple of those in a system, it's a godsend, because the old way was to just sit in supercruise until a USS popped up. Then you would quickly have a look at it, wait for it to resolve, find out that it's only a degraded. You think, okay, let's move on. Then you got another one pops up, it's weapons fire. Okay, let's move on. And then eventually you'll come across a high grade. But how long have you been sitting? 20 minutes? 10? Who knows? With the FSS, you just find you can tune your radio dial, as I call it, for USSs. You tune them all in, and you can find them all in a shorter space of time, and then you can just focus on that and head straight to the one that you want, whether it be encoded, high grade, or decoded. And as for the planet scanning, the mapping, it's brilliant, because now you can find all the new stuff on the surface, geological stuff, bases, crashed ships. It's a better system, and the good thing is, if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. You can still use the old honk, jump into a system, honk, leave, jump into a system, honk. And if you want to fly up to a planet and then have your detail scanner scan it in the old way, you can still do that. The only thing is, in the system map, it won't reveal as much information about these planets, like what's on the surface and stuff, as it did before, if it's an undiscovered planet. But but the FSS will reveal everything to you, so there is a use for using it. And you can get credits for finding new stuff that go onto the codex as well, sometimes. So what I'm going to do in this video is we're going to look at a system, a typical system, inside the bubble with my exploration conda, and we're going to have a look at this kind of stuff we can find, and also we're going to map a planet or a moon, and then I'm going to do the same thing in deeper space. I'll try and find a system that I haven't. Well, I was gonna say I'll try and find a system that's a first discovery, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. It's gonna take a bit too long. But we'll jump outside into deep space, and we'll do a scan out there and see what we can find. I'll just pick one at random. So I'm gonna go out and find a system in the bubble, and then I'll be back. Alright, I've just taken off from Shinrata Desra. Quite literally, it's right behind me, or it should be. There it is. That's Jameson Memorial, of course, flickering away there with its red neon lights. I don't know what's going on with that. So we're heading to Marabal, which is just a jump away. And before we get there, I just want to show you, before we jump into using the FSS, is the key bindings for this. So, of course, you can set them up the way you want. It's personal to everybody, but I want to show you how I've got it set up, because I find the way I've got it done to be easier to use than just mapping a load of keys. I'm using the mouse, really, which is helping a lot, and the joystick. So the first thing to note is, and I have reported this as a bug, it's not a bug, it's an issue, but I'm hoping that Frontier are going to address it. And that's this enter FSS mode with an F, and then down here we have leave FSS. Okay, and you cannot map it to the same key, it just won't have it. If I try, it says it's currently bound. So if I hit confirm now, it's going to take the binding of the enter. If I do that, and now we go to enter FSS mode, and you see it's gone from there. So you cannot have the same key. Now in my eyes, I don't even know why we need this here. It doesn't even need to be here, because F can toggle enter and exit FSS mode. But hey, let's see if Frontier sort that out and, you know, see a bit of sense there, because it's redundant. And if you're in VR where you can't see your keyboard, it's just another button to find. It's just pointless. So for moving around, I'm using the joystick, camera pitch, and camera yaw, which we'll look at when I actually use the FSS. But I can use the mouse as well now. Pretty sure I can use it. Yeah, there we go. So we've got mouse axis as well, yaw on, pitch inverted on. So that means I can now use the joystick for camera, yaw and pitch, and also the mouse, which yaw and pitch is now X and Y. But that is correct. It is the X axis of the mouse that you're mapping, and so yaw and pitch is on the mouse. So that's how I have it set up. And then let's just come down these in order. So we've got the joystick being used. You don't have to map these if you just want to use the mouse, but it means I can use my joystick and mouse for moving around within FSS mode. Zoom into target, I've got mapped to joystick buttons, but also crucially, I've got mapped to the Z-axis, which is the mouse wheel. So I push the mouse wheel up to zoom in, down to zoom out, and then for step zoom, I just hold the shift key and I use the mouse wheel, and I'm now using step zoom. Step zoom is it's another additional zoom level for when you zoom into a target, let's say a planet, and it has a few moons around it. You zoom in, and a couple of those moons, for example, might be very, very close together, and it might be hard to pick one out. Or you might want to pick one out. Let's say you has two moons really close together, Moon A and Moon B. You want to target Moon B, and you can't because Moon A is so close, you can't get to Moon B. So this is when you use step zoom in, and it'll zoom in on those two close together objects and start splitting them apart by zooming in even more. So that's what that does. Okay, so then now we come down to tuning, which is I've also used the mouse. This is mouse 1 and 2, so these are my mouse buttons. So mouse 1 will bring the radio dial. It is a radio dial, look, radio. It's not a dial though, but it's I'm going to call it that because it's easy. So the mouse 1 will bring the radio dial down, mouse 2 will bring the radio dial up, or left button down, right button up. I've also mapped it to left shift W and S. Probably would have been made more sense to map it to left shift A and D, to be fair. Now it wouldn't interfere with this because it's a different qualifier key. Your qualifier keys are keys that you can press along with another key. So like say for example left shift, left control, right control, left alt, right alt. They're called qualifier keys. So instead of just pressing W and S, you need to press left shift and S, or left shift and W. So I could easily just make this. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to do shift and D and shift and A. And now this is control and D. So that's a different thing altogether because the qualifier key is different. So of course the discovery scanner is going to be different. Unfortunately, I don't think I can map it to just D. Oh, I can. Okay, that's handy then. Because D is normally roll on my keyboard. I do roll with the mouse, but it's either roll or yaw for my ship. But if it lets me do that without using a qualifier key, then I'm happy with that. Well, we'll have to test that and see what happens. So as I say, down here, I've got mouse movement within, so I can use the mouse to move the FSS targeting around. I've kept the FSS mouse sensitivity on standard, but I may have to move that around, maybe turn it down a little bit so that when I'm zooming in or using the radio dial, perhaps it's a little bit less sensitive. Right now I'm finding it okay, so I'll play with that another time. Once you're zoomed in on your targeted item, whether it be a planet, a moon, or a USS, then you can target that the same way you would target anything. So then your ship knows that's where you want to go, and then it's on your little compass, and you can go there. So that's for targeting. I'm using backspace, and then you've got H for help. Into the detailed surface scanner then, the new detailed surface scanner. Very simple. I've left this as default. Perhaps not. I think I did change this actually. Yeah, toggle front and back view. You've got hold and toggle here. So I've got it on hold. So I just press and I've got to hold the V down to see the back. And as soon as I take my finger off the key, it goes back to front view. And I've got it set. I don't see the need to toggle it. I don't need to keep looking at the back of the planet really. I only ever need to look at it temporarily. So I've only got it on hold. And again, to exit, I'm using backspace as well. It's not interfering with this because this is a key within the FSS and this is a key within the DSS. Now then, discovery scan is D. To exit it, can I use D again? I can. Okay, so I'm setting up some new keys here. Also mouse 2. I don't know why that would be the case. I'm going to take that off. Okay. Okay, we'll see about this. So I've got new keys. I've got to remember these keys now. and see if that... see, this is the D key, look. But if I go into... oh, there's another crucial key, by the way, you need to know about. It might not be in this section, otherwise I would have surely seen it. Now, where the hell is it? Mode switches, perhaps? There we go. Switch HUD mode. That's a crucial one. I've got that mapped to the key that's just above the tab, and on the left-hand side of the number 1 key, on the top row, that's what that is. So switch HUD mode. Very important. Get that key mapped. Open Discovery, left Control C, which is your codecs, I think. Left Control C is not doing anything. So switching HUD mode is that. D's not going into the surface scanner yet. What I'm going to do, I know I was able to map D to that, but I also want to use another key for it, which is Control and D. I want to see if it makes a difference, or if it's clashing with my ship's thing. Okay, that's Control and D, and that's D. Right, so I think the reason why it's not working is because it needs to be in range of something. So let's go and do this. We've waited long enough. So I'm going to jump in. This is within the bubble, obviously. It's just a jump away from Shinrata, but I haven't got it mapped on my system map. But I think that's because Frontier seemed to have reset everything, because I've surely been here before. So as we jump in, I'm going to throttle down. Okay, so I'm going to throttle down. So we've got the new lighting system and new look sun or star, which is pretty cool. And the first thing I want to do is map the system. Now, I could go into the system map as usual, and it'll be there for me. So it's not like, I need to reveal anything now. It's, why do I need to do the FSS now? Well, let's take a look at this little place and see if it tells us. Yeah, this is all mapped. I need to go further out. Because the planet materials are listed here. So I think we need to go a bit further out. Yeah, it's telling us everything already. Although none of the system bodies are actually mapped, all the information's here. So I'm going to just... although it might be the same everywhere else, to be fair, in the bubble. But I'm going to try. So I'll be back. I'll be back shortly. Okay, I'm a bit further out in HIP 65632, and of course conditions are exactly the same, where the system map is showing us everything already, but this is not going to be the case when we get out into planets that are unexplored. These are not coming up as unexplored for me, and this is why we're getting all the info. So I don't know whether to carry on doing what I was going to do, which is map a system in the bubble, and then not map a system. I'm not going to map a system. That's going to take a bit too long. But to demonstrate the differences. But we will. I'm going to use the FSS scanner because I want to see what's around. Because you're going to see more USSs and stuff, or more things popping up within the bubble and outside, I think. So staying in Super Cruise then, but pointing away from the star. There is a mode of contention here about your ship being vulnerable to attack or interdictions in open play once you are in the FSS mode. Now, also, this help thing needs to stop coming up. The first time you use it, every time you go in game, is not good. And I believe there's an issue in VR with this, that you can't even see this thing popping up. But this help thing needs to go away. You can bring it up by using H. As you can see at the bottom left, it says show help H. But you can't get rid of it that way. So the only way to get rid of it is to go space, 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 space. So this is pretty bad. So I'm now using the mouse. So the first thing I need to do is press and hold D, and that gives us the usual honk. Now we have the orbital plane, and you can see all the stuff that's appeared here. We don't know what they are yet, but they are things. Now there's a couple of ways of doing this. You can tune for what you want first, and then go after those, or you can just look at the dotted circles and then tune them in, and then just take your chances on whether it's a planet or a USS. So, for example, if you look at the radio dial, pretty fast, but you'll see at the bottom right things are changing. So this is the higher frequencies where the gas giants would exist on your spectral analysis. Then you come down and you're getting into the realms of water worlds and ammonia worlds and earth-likes. Now you've got rocky ice worlds, and as you can see, we've got some activity in this area. So there are rocky and icy bodies here. Then we've got metal-rich bodies, so there's clearly one in this system somewhere. We'd know this from the system map anyway. But if you go into a system that's a first discovery, you're not going to see anything, I don't believe. So we've got asteroid clusters, metal-rich bodies. We've got something here, scenario, it looks like. Another one there. And as you can see now, as soon as I've hit on unidentified signal sources at the bottom end of the range, they've all lit up solid. Where up here, they're not solid. And you cannot zoom in or target until they're solid. So if I try and zoom in, I'm going to get this energy tuning failed or adaptive zoom failed. It's not going to work. So the tuning has failed. So I'm going to bring the tuning down, because we know now it's a signal source. And now I can zoom in. And there it is. So I need to move a little bit more. It's still a solid circle, so I can just move straight in. And there it is. It's a convoy dispersal pattern. I'm going to zoom right out. So the other way to do it is you can just be up there where there's nothing detected, but you're still going to get things like these showing up. So it's not like they're going to disappear altogether, but if I bring this down, now you'll see these two have started appearing. Whereas if I went up, oh, they are still there. Okay. So, okay, they still exist. So you're not always going to find stuff by looking at dotted circles. It's these areas here. This is telling you there's something there. So now we're going to tune in to find what it is. I'm going to go up to the top. So obviously it's not a gas giant. I'm going to keep going down. There, it's tuning in. There it is. It's an Earth-like world. Okay, let's go in. Public legal authority. I've never seen that before, but we'll check that out. So there's that pulse. Let's zoom in. That's not an Earth-like world. Is it? No, it's a rocky ice world. So why did that resolve on the Earth-like world scale? Oh, it's, well, to be fair, it's fairly close together. I thought I had an Earth-like. Yeah, it's in that area. Rocky ice worlds, there we go. And now this is doing this, resolving it to this level here. You see at the top right your info resources, tin, mercury, polonium, sulfur, iron. That will now appear in your system map in systems where you've never been before. So tuning failed. Why? Well, I need to tune it in, see what it is. Now you can see that pattern popping up there. 3 at the top, 1 underneath, and another 1 underneath on the rings. So if I can get that, there it is. And there you can see on the radio dial that pattern has now been matched. 3 on the top, 1 underneath, and 1 underneath. Zoom in, and look what that is. There's a station there. That's not what we were looking for. I think it's this, and there it is. No volcanism, no atmosphere, and it is a high metal content world, which if you look on the bottom right, we are in that. It says high metal content worlds, which is in this frequency zone where we are now. You can also see it's moving because we are. So let's zoom further out. There's more stuff up here. Let's tune those in, see if we can find what they are. Might be USS, who knows? Yes, they are. These are USSs. So let's go and have a look at 3 of them. And we have an encoded emissions there, and encoded emissions there. Now this is where it becomes faster, because it's finding stuff for you a lot faster. I thought there was a third one. Wasn't there 3 that popped up? Okay, let's have a look. Stay on the orbital plane here because that's where all your stuff is. Actually, the stuff down there, let's just check this out because this is already a solid circle, so it's another signal source. Let's zoom in with the mouse wheel. That's a distress call. And each one of these, whether it's a planet or a USS, they've all got ambient sounds as well. Oh, we've got a update coming in 30 minutes. Well, that's annoying, you know, because I'm recording, but it's also a good thing. We'll see what changes they make. So we've got something here. So we're going to go up the slider. It's starting to resolve, as you can see. There it is. Let's keep going, and it looks like an asteroid cluster. There it is. And we have something here, do we? It looks a bit faint, but you can see the white dot there. That it is something. Icy bodies. That's the region of the radio dial that we're in, so chances are it's an icy body, and it has rings, this one. Composition ice, rock, metal, and not really telling us about the rings, is it? On here, perhaps in the system map. We'll find out more about those. There's another faint one there, is there? Let's come down. There is a faint one there, look. There's Northrop Hub, which is already there. We've got a couple of blips here. Right, high metal content we're in the range of. So let's zoom into that. And another one up here, which is not any of those. USS perhaps? Yeah. Weapons fire. No high grades at the moment. Encoded. Just zooming in and out will resolve it. There's another thing here, but I'm going to just quickly resolve these 3 first. Encoded emissions. Encoded emissions. So again, this is a lot easier. Once you learn how to use this really quickly, you'll be able to find all these USSs and fly to them a lot faster and a lot more efficiently than you would have done in the old system, I believe. That's an asteroid cluster. We'll quickly resolve that. Now don't mistake these blue dots here as there's another one there. Look, it's still flashing. With these things that are at the bottom of the screen pulsating downwards, that's just your scanner. So there's another thing here because we still have an unresolved pattern. So there's there it is. So we need to retune. We've zoomed in, but we need to retune now. And now we're going to zoom in. Wow, now there's even more blibs and blobs. So we'll zoom in on that one. Let's have a look. Gordon platform. Oh, even more now. Yeah, you can see the orbit lines of each body. So, and that is a gas giant, because that's the place on the dial that we're at. And if you want to sit and resolve all of these, you can. Again, you don't have to. You can just look at the system map. They're already all there. But this way will show you a lot more data about the planet, providing you're outside the bubble, of course, and the systems haven't already been discovered. But this works best on unexplored planets, where you're discovering things, and especially on first discoveries. You know, you're going to get, and you get paid more for this stuff as well. You get paid for mapping planets and stuff, which we will come to soon. But it looks like we've got a few more things to resolve here, so I'm going to quickly zoom in and do that. I didn't even see what it was, I just came straight in. Now then, we've got something else there. This is what we're focusing on right now. But what is this? I have to retune to get this thing. It must be a lot further away as well, because I've had to zoom in a lot for it. Oh, it's another signal source. Now, because it's so far away, it might be a high grade. It's not. That's a shame. Right, we have something else unresolved here. So let's try and resolve that, see what that is. There it is. Icy body. So you can see that it is informative. It does tell you the kind of thing, you know, what to look out for, what to expect. Yeah, all these pulsating little blue blobs coming down, don't mistake them for things that are discoverable. Now I've got 3 more bodies to discover according to the info at the top right, and I've discovered 36 signals. Ah, now you see those white lines are lighting up? That's because something's here. Those white lines, I mean those white pulses inside the concentric rings there. So there's another one. And I think the other 2 are here. Let's try and go up and down the dial here, see if we can pick something off. It's coming. There it is. It's a metal-rich body. Nice. Oh, it's a cluster. It's a cluster. They must exist. Yeah, asteroid clusters. Yeah, it's very close on the dial then to a metal-rich body. And there's another one somewhere. There's the nav beacon. Just zoom straight in on that. Yeah, there's 2. Actually, there's 2 more. I'm zoomed out to the maximum. There's something else. There's 2 more things. Well, it might not be a body. It's not. It's not a body. It's a degraded emissions. And bear in mind, when you zoom in on these, crucially, some of them have got very limited times before they disappear. Like weapons fire. As you can see in the top right, it says it's 19 minutes remaining. That's how long that's going to remain there for. I believe that's what that is. And then it will disappear. So these encoded emissions that you find, that's got 14 minutes left. So if you want to scoop whatever's in there, that's how long you've got. So at least you can tell. You can pop into the next one. 33 minutes. Okay, well that means I can leave that one till a bit later then. How long's this one got? 1 minute. Too late. That's going to disappear in a minute and a half. And that's detected signal, which says 38, well, should go down to 37. Also, you can have new USSs popping in. I could be sat here scanning and a new one will come in, I would imagine. But I've still got 2 more bodies to find. Maybe they're within some of these things that I've already found. I don't know. See, once you've found something, you can zoom in no matter where your radio dial is. Once you've discovered it, I can put my radio dial right up there and I can still zoom in because it's already been resolved. But I think there's more stuff to find. Well, there definitely is more stuff to find, but where that is, it's usually on or around the orbital plane. These are all USSs. Let's have a look in here. Springer Dock. Any more things around here? No, because there's no more orbit lines, so let's have a look here. No, it's just that. Right, as you can see, that one is a planet and this one is, or a gas giant or whatever, it's a body, but this one has got little concentric lines around it, which means when you go in, there's more than one item in there. But I don't see anything in or around. I don't know where the other 2 bodies are. Have I missed anything here? Zoom right into that one. No, I don't know. Okay, well I guess I'm just gonna have to leave it like this. So once I'm done, I have to press a different key to exit, and then if you look into your panel here, you're going to see all of the encoded emissions, all the things you found, encoded, degraded, and then you can just pick one you want and go to it. Okay, let's pop to here. The thing is, there's no point mapping a planet here because all the information's already here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow this update to take place, this 20-minute update. And in the meantime, I'm going to get myself out into deep space and find a system where everything's... It's not that it's going to be a first discovery, but at least where things are unexplored. And then we'll start to see if we can find anything cool. Actually, before I do that, I've just changed my mind. Let's actually do this. Let's go to this planet here and map it, because there is stuff on that surface. So you know, it's not just a case of knowing that there's nickel and cadmium and carbon down there. You can actually do more stuff. You can find stuff on the surface with the mapping. So we're going to do that with the probes. So as we're going in, you'll see the scanner says out of range in red text there. So the moment you get to a point where the surface scanner is going to work for you, once you get in range, it's going to start saying too fast. The moment it says too fast is the moment you drop your speed. Literally, you just throttle down. So we're going to zoom in, watch for the surface scanner text out of range. It's going to change too fast. There we go. So now we can drop out, slow the ship right down. Now the surface scanner is active. So I'm going to press D. Oh, sorry, not D. That's the disc. Yeah, that's the discovery scanner. So secondary. So I'm going to press my secondary fire, and now we're in DSS. Now it says on the right hand side towards the bottom that you have an infinite amount of probes. Thank you. And also that the efficiency target is 2 probes. So it should take only 2 probes to map this entire planet because it's so small. So there's a couple of ways of doing it. You can send a probe right in at the front here and then one round the back. Or you can send one to the left side and one to the right side, or one to the top, one to the bottom. So here's how it works. The secondary fire is what you're going to use again now to set a probe off. And you can fire multiple probes at the same time. You can't go too crazy with them. They will stop firing after a few, and then you have to wait a few seconds, and then you can fire more. But if you wanted to fire one right in front of the planet, right where you're looking, then that's where you'd be, right here. And then to fire one round the back, which if we take a look, that's the back view. Doesn't look like it, does it? Back view. Looks exactly the same. But it's not the back view of the planet that you're going to see, it's the back view of the impacts. So let's have a look. So if we come out here, forget the white line for now, we're going to keep coming out, and coming out. Eventually it's going to say miss. That means if I send a torpedo or a probe out now, it's going to fire around and it's going to completely miss the planet, and it's going to literally slingshot around it. The more gravity, the more slingshot the effect's going to be, and it's going to come out the other side, as we will see, and it's going to whiz away. There it goes. Just like it would in Star Trek 4. Right, so to get round to the back of the planet then, we would come in and in and in just as soon as the line appears, then you fire. And that puts a probe right round the back in this spot ish. But I'm going to do on the sides. Now you can do up there and down there, you can do up top and bottom, you can do left and right, but make sure you do it. Don't do one on the left side and one on the top, because it's not efficient. So this line indicates firing a probe on this side of the planet. So what you need to do is, when that white line appears, is put your reticule right in the middle, fire a probe, and that will hit directly on the left hand side. Same on this side, right in the middle, and fire a probe, and that will put it on the right hand side. Now that should give us full mapping, and you'll see bottom left the percentage going up, and the other one is yet to strike. Once it gets over 90%, it's considered a full map. There we go.
Surface scan complete.
Now whether there's anything on there, I don't know. If we just wait a little while for the info at the top, it might tell us. Do we wait? Sometimes I've had to actually come out of this mode and go back in to find out. I didn't need to fire that, but let's come out of here. Okay, so now we're back out. So this is, now you can see what it's detected. So 3 signals, and they're human signals. So if we take a look in here, there you go, and underneath is your, hold on, yeah. Well, I'm just wondering why these are doubled. So yeah, you've got Christian Beacon, Coney Depot, and Steiner Beacon. These are the 3 things on this planet that it's picked up. There is no geological stuff. Now you're going to think, well, okay, I don't want to look at that grid on the planet all the time. I want it back to normal. Fine, jump back into combat mode, and you're going to see it as normal. jump back into analysis mode, you're back into this grid, and that's how it will always look. And also, if you're going to land on the planet, the closer you get in to the planet, once you get closer to it, start getting into glide, all this grid stuff's going to start automatically disappearing anyway. So we're going to do this all over again, but we're going to do it out in the black. So I've got 10-15 minutes to get that done. So I will see you out in the black. Right, we're back after the update to the servers, and we have a 101 patch. Couple of things about this. Firstly, sorry, just that my screen looks a bit weird here. Is it? Okay, that blue ring that was around the sensor of the Anaconda is now white, but it's still off center. They'll never fix that. Never. I think they think it's meant to be that way, but it's just a way of saying we can't be asked to fix it. Right. Yeah, the 101. It's not a massive update, guys. There's lots of little different bugs, but I guess we're not going to get those fixed until next Tuesday, perhaps, when the next update drops. But all they've done on this one is fix the detailed surface scanner so it no longer draws power, and they've fixed 3 occurrences where crashes could happen, like zooming into a body in FSS mode. Never had that happen. Crashes while firing probes, crashes while opening the system map. So that's it. That's 101. The crucial thing about this, for me, probably didn't affect many other people, is that as soon as I tried to launch Elite Dangerous again, my antivirus flagged up Elite Dangerous 64.exe as a, ironically, dangerous file. And I tried to tell it not to do that, and I said I trust this file, and it said thank you. And then I ran the game again, and it came up suspicious file. Which, yeah, that's the antivirus to blame for that, because if I tell it I trust the file, then you shouldn't be flagging the file anymore. So that's the antivirus for you. So I've had to disable my antivirus completely in order to get back into the game. But that's just another thing. I don't know what's going on there. I have reported it, but it's probably not going to get any attention. So we are here in the pipe stem sector. I will just show you on the galaxy map where I am. I'm a little way out from the bubble, so I'm just going to try here. So I'm going to have a look in the old system map, and so far I've just got this. Whether there's more here or not, I don't know. But I guess we're going to find out. So, first thing to do then, I'm going to just honk with the scanner. So, oh, okay. So, pop it into analysis mode. And I'm just going to run a D-scan. A normal honk. That's orbital plane established. Let's have a look in the system map. Nothing. Maybe there is nothing in here. Let's find out. Oh, of course we have to be in Super Cruise. I came out of Super Cruise when I shut down. So let's jump into that. Still not exactly sure why you can't use the FSS in normal space. Also, Frontier have said that because of the way that their system works, that's not a direct quote, but because of the way they've got everything set up, you cannot have a different key to exit FSS as you can to enter. But apparently if you use the default key, which is either the apostrophe, which is what I'm using for HUD switching, or it's the one in between the L key and the enter key, right in the middle, the apostrophe thing. So it's one of those, which is the default key, and apparently if you use the default key you can use it to enter and exit. but Frontier is saying that you can't have the same button mapped to enter and exit. And yet on the Galaxy map, you press M to enter and M to exit. System map the same for me, Control M to enter, Control M to exit. So why they can't do it on the FSS, I don't know, but there you go. Into FSS. Oh, God. Data corrupted. 2 signals detected. Let's come out and try again anyway, just see what it says. Okay, I've never seen that before. Right, now, I've lost that. There it is. So, oh, God damn it. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm apologizing on Frontier's behalf here.
Incoming message.
Wow. Sorry, this, for me, when I envisioned doing this video to show you guys how to do this, I envisioned just going in, being a nice teacher, and just a nice teacher, listen to me. Being a teacher and just saying, hi guys, this is how you use this is how you do this is how you do that. Hasn't turned out that way. Okay. Now I've got to find that damn thing again. It could be anywhere. Oh, and it looks like I've got to do another. Let me just do the scan again. I don't know whether I needed to, but it's done. Okay, so that is a degraded emissions. There is only the one body, and I think that's it. 2 signals, which will be this and that. I think that's it. So, time to move on. Let's move to a different system and see if we can find something a little bit more fruitful.
Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Right, going to throttle down and I'm going to point away from the sun. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to honk. Right, into FSS. Ooh, we have some stuff here. 37 signals detected and 4 bodies out of 30. So let's have a look at a few bits and pieces then. Let's go here, let's have a look. That's not there then. Ah, there it is. So we've tuned in on the dial, so now we can zoom in. And zoom in again. Wow. And again. There it is. Let's have a look. Let's just come out of here a sec, because what I should have done was have a look in the system map, really. Okay, there we go, look. So we have stuff that's black, unexplored, so we know nothing about them. Why is it showing me materials? Is that because I've done the FSS then? Or because I did a discovery scan throughout? This is not working the way it was working yesterday. Before, you were getting like 4 lines of information, and then once you did the FSS scan on the planet, then you would get all of this, or the detailed surface scan, I think. Now it's popping up. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, there's more stuff here. I'm just gonna tune and it's basically tune and zoom. Right, I can't zoom anymore. So I'm going to now use the stepped zoom. That's not working. Hold on guys, hold on, let me just figure this out. Let me see if I can tune this in again. There, zoom in. Adaptive zoom failed. I'm going to use step zoom now. There we go. Now, there must have been two objects close together. Because since... yeah, there you go. Since using the step zoom to split them up, I was now able to scan them both. And there's something else here. That breaks down into two more. One there. One here. So you get the idea. And you can just go around mapping them all. Let me just see if there's any more USSs in the area. I'm going to just filter down, right down there, so I'm going to be able to pick them up straight away. So these are not coming up as solid circles, so they're clearly not USSs. Let's see if we can find stuff that might be. It'll be a solid circle because that's the frequency range that I'm in. There you go. Degraded. Listening to the sound effects really. I think that's it for USSs. Unless there's any within some of these, which might be possible. You know, you can zoom in and then that's resolved to a planet, but you can zoom in on places and then you have to zoom in even further. You might find a USS within those. Don't know whether I can find any examples of that. No, they're all resolving themselves. There's nothing else within them. This one perhaps, where you've got concentric circles around it. So like for example here. So these blobs, you might be able to pick up a USS within here. I'm noticing when I zoom in, then back out, it's moving me. It's not keeping it where it was. It's not keeping it on 13D. So I'm at 13D now. I zoom in, I zoom out, and it's putting me down there. Why is it not keeping me where I was? So I've only discovered just over half the stuff. There's something here. Only just saw that one. Right, okay, well, let's have a look. Let's come out of here now and have a quick look in the system map and see if anything more has been resolved. As you can see, it has. I wonder if we can select that. Then find it. So it's up here. Maybe because it's behind the planet.
Fuel scooping.
And that's why we haven't seen it. Just get rid of the fuel scoop. Okay, so I'm going to point to it and then I'm going to go into F. As you can see, it's getting resolved already. It's already getting scanned by the standard scanner that we're used to. A metal content and a metal content. I'm going to tune down for See if I can find any more USSs. It's just started to rain really heavy here. Belt cluster. So let's go here, see if there's anything. While we're next to it, let's pop over. See if we can. We'll map it, and we'll see if we can find anything interesting on the surface. Now, in order to see stuff that's on the surface, you need to be in this analysis mode. You cannot be in combat mode, otherwise it will not show up in the navigation panel here. It won't show up down here. So you're going to need to be in this mode, and then anything you find on a planet's surface will appear in this list. Okay, so remember, analysis mode required. So we're gonna close in as we do normally, wait for 7 seconds, jump down into the cruising speed, and we're going to wait for the red text that says out of range on the surface scanner to change to too fast, because once it says that, that's when you know you're within range for the surface scanner to start working. And this looks like a very bright orange planet. There it is, too fast, so I'm now throttling down, and now the surface scanner is there. That looks a very nice planet. I wouldn't mind moving in a little bit closer if I'm honest. Okay, so then into the DSS with the secondary mappings, and 2 probes again. It's moving, as you can see. Well, so are we, but it's moving as well, so I'm going to fire one there, and I'm going to fire one on that side, and we're going to map it. And the probes know where to go. Look at that right hand side one. Bang. It knows where to go. Look at that. And bang.
Surface scan complete.
The probes know where to go. If you watch my stream from yesterday, you'll see that I actually mapped Meteron's Hollow. And if you know about that place, yeah, you'll see as I fire the probes how they just apparently seemingly go all the way off course, but they don't. They don't go off course at all. I don't want to be here, do I? No. I don't want to be here either. So, oh, we have something. We've got 6 geological signals. So again, if I'm in combat mode, like I'm here, I don't see them. If I switch, there they pop up. So let's take a look. These could be anything from geysers to fumaroles, stuff like that. Also, you'll find here, if there is any, you'll have crashed ships, which will pop up here, bases, anything that might be of interest. But previously, these geological bits were a right pain to find, and now, not so much. So if you find I haven't explained anything well, or you're still a little bit unsure on how to use something, please write a comment and I will attempt to answer you. Alternatively, if you're on the Discord, you can write it in there, and if I don't get to you to help you, then somebody will.
Orbital flight engaged.
So the new lighting's providing some really good views of planet surfaces, and just the look on the ship when you jump in. The lighting's just so much better. So you'll notice now that the grid that was around the planet is now gone. But if you want it gone permanently, you switch into combat mode. Simple as that. Oh, now that thing's... I know it's here, but the targeting ability's gone during the glide mode. Let me swing the ship round while we're here. Looks a bit better. Oh, I know it's somewhere around here. It looks like I'm going to have to do it this way. Yeah. Alright, let's have a look. Let's see what they are. And if it's something you haven't discovered before, you'll get 50,000 credits and it'll get popped into the codex. No, that's moved. Oh no, I don't know. There's either there's a couple or it's moving. Ah, now we can see them. Now, this is where we get to use something else. In the fire groups, I'm probably going to hit the surface. You've got a short-range composition scanner. So I'm going to use that now. I'm a little bit too close. Oh, these are the lava things. I've been looking forward to finding this. Let me just hit reverse. I'm a little bit too close. Okay, so we're going to go into the next fire group. And I have comp scanner, nothing found. But if you put your comp scanner on it, looks like a campfire. You have to be fairly close in for that to work, for the comp scanner to work. Now I'm going to scan it. I've not found these before, so there it is, 50,000 credits. And if you want to know what it is you've discovered, you can press Ctrl C. That's what I've got it mapped to. I think it must be this one. Yep, there it is. That's my discovery. This is somebody else's, but this one is mine. I've just discovered it right now. And everything that's blue is things I've discovered myself. Anything that's in orange here are things that other people have discovered. But this is my first one. Definitely got to land here and take a look at this. Let's have a look with night mode. Although it's not night, so it's not really necessary. Put the lights on, perhaps? Yeah. Let's leave it as it is. And let's just drop down. You do need to retract your hard points to get that comp scanner off. It looks like we can land right here, which is very handy. So imagine trying to find this in 3.2. It's not that you can't, it's just a lot more difficult, I think. So out in the SRB, and we'll take a look. See if we can pick up any materials too.
Low gravity warning.
Okay, I might put the light on here. Oh, I've got no controls, guys. And I got no HUD either. I got no display. I can't do anything. Something's happened. Not going very well, is it? Just dropped out the SRV and something didn't go right. No, something's wrong. Something's wrong, guys. I'll be back when it's all resolved. Right, we're back. I instant swapped and we're fine again, so let's see if we can get moving. Now, when you run over a water geyser, especially a high force one, it will toss your ship into the air. So I'm wondering now, if I go over this, will it increase my temperature? Yes, it is. Look at the temp.
Warning. Temperature critical.
Yes, it is.
Warning.
Well, okay. Nothing's appearing. Oh, there it is. Needle crystals. These are good to find. Get some good materials from these. Although, to date, it's just been antimony. I find the reticule is a little bit off. You see it's dipping below what it should be. I'll have to go into turret mode, I think. Yeah, it's getting too close to fire now. Oh, sometimes you'll find that your reticule is not there. Again, it's analysis because you're in analysis mode. Yttrium! Whey! That's different. Let's go and pick it up. Now then, let me just have a look at something. I'm going to go into analysis mode, because we've also got the short range scanner here. So I'm going to see if I can scan something else. It won't make a difference, I've already scanned it. There we go. It did light up a second ago, there. Oh, this ship. This vehicle. I'll try it in turret mode. Nothing new discovered. It lights up when you can scan. See? That. But it's nothing new, I've already discovered it before. Lava spouts, iron magma. Sometimes when you're in the ship doing that, that text gets covered up, gets overlapped. So you don't really see it. Pacious cobble. Let me switch back into combat mode. Module cannot be used in this cockpit mode. In combat mode I can't use my gun. Wait a minute, I need to be in primary. There we go. Try setting the right fire group, Rusty. Carbon. If we look in the contacts panel, we'll be able to see them better. The needles are the good ones to look for because you get higher grade materials. Crystalline fragments, I guess, give you mid-range materials. The targeting is definitely off. I mean, you need the turret more than ever now. Nice view. Alright, well, I think I've covered everything. If there's anything I haven't covered, let me know. So I'm going to end this video. say thanks for watching. Hope you've learned how to use the scanners a bit better now, and I will catch you
Temperature critical.
next time.
Shields offline. Warning. Taking heat damage. Warning. Temperature critical. Chassis integrity critical.